Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to take a look at the Zeta Toys Slingshot. What do they call this thing? Catapult. Now, I thought about this for a while. Like, what would be the best way to do these videos? Like, do a full review, do the how are they holding up thing, or you know, just how, what would be the best approach? Getting all tongue-tied already. It's a little too early for me. So what I ended up deciding on was, I think the best way to do this would be to, looking at all these little bits in this bag here that I got from the seller. I think the best way to do it is the, I'm sorry, John, a friend of mine, he was wanting me to do the full reviews. But I really do think that the best way to do these videos is going to be a how are they holding up video. So that's what I'm going to do. So rather than doing a full review on each individual figure, including Superion, we're just going to see how they're holding up. Because, you know, I just did a quick search last night to see when Superion had come out. And so the final piece was about 3 years ago. So all of these guys are 3 to 4 years old already. So they're older figures, but we'll see how they're holding up to today's standards. My goal with this set was, so I wanted to get the Fans Toys Aerial Bots, but seeing as the Superion or Silverbolt was going for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, let's see. Let me Google it real quick. What's his name? Maverick? Fans Toys Maverick. $380 to $500. I spent $475 on the whole set. So I could not justify, you know, $400 to $500 a figure. I just couldn't do it. You know, maybe if it was like a key character Decepticon, maybe, and that's pushing it. You know, I spent about $400 on Astro Train, but I have to, you know, say that there's an end to the line at some point when it comes to the cost of this stuff. And yeah, and Zeta's, the Fans Toys ones are also not going to ever get completed from what it looks like. I figured to go with the Zeta guys. The bots looked fine. I wouldn't call them great, but they do look good for my shelf. And yeah, you know, if the Fans Toys ones get reissued and they finish the set, then cool, I'll swap them out, and maybe I'll use them as Superion. I don't really have the space for the giant combiners, which is why I haven't gone on the Zeta train before, but I think you guys get the point. So all of these guys, and we're going to show this just one time. All of them come with these little Misopods. They just clip in to this, and then this here would plug into like the wing or whatever. And yeah, yay, you know, thrilling. Never look at it again. He also does come with the gun. So it's very reminiscent for me of the the Toy World Constructicons where they had just these big goofy looking guns. Let's see if he can hold it. There goes his thumb. And he holds it fine. I wouldn't call that good. This is showing off like two things that I've always said that I hate about modern Masterpiece figures. One, the articulated hands. If you don't do it right, shit falls off or breaks. And two, by having the plug-in gun, you're creating another point for failure. I think Make Toys did it the best, where they slid into the slot into the back and then it does not fall out. That's probably the best way to do it. But let's take a look at him. So his head is on a ball joint, so you get the left, right, a little up, down, a little side to side. This panel doesn't quite latch in, like at all. It holds, but it doesn't quite latch in. Shoulders swivel, hinge. There's two double hinges out to the side, so you get, with all that, you still only get to there. I wonder if there's a way. No, not really. Bicep swivel, double bend elbow, but you're still, you got this bend here and this bend here, but basically you're not getting very far with it still. Wrist swivels, thumb is on a ball peg, and then each finger is individually articulated. The problem is the tightness. There's two different tightnesses going on with the hands here. The thumb ball joint is not very tight to begin with. And then the bottom pin, and it is pinned in this bottom row here, is really tight. So it's hard to move the fingers, and you want to put pressure. When you're moving them, you want to put pressure on the tips, but the tips are only friction end. So you have to be careful. You don't want to tear those tips out when trying to move the whole finger. So it doesn't really want to cooperate. That is why I say, the best thing I would have done, like if I were making Transformers, as I would make removable posed hands. Said that a billion times. I'm going to keep saying it until somebody starts doing it. There's a waist swivel. It does get caught up with the backpack. Speaking of the backpack, this is the backpack. All things considered, it's not bad. My dog is like snoring, but rather than snoring, it's like when he breathes out, it's like a whistle. Okay. But anyway, it's, all things considered, like I said, it is a pretty decent backpack. All the aerial bots always had backpacks like this, where it's basically just a folded up jet. I always kind of like the way they look, because it almost looks like they have like their own little jet packs. So I'm down with it. It looks fine. I think it cleans up fairly well for what it is. And it does look like, so we got these screw holes here, and there are some screw covers that came with this. I don't know if I have enough screw covers for everybody, but we'll take a look at it as we go. And, all right, legs. So the skirting gets up out of the way. Hips up to there. Back to there. Yeah, all the way back if you kind of get it out of the way of that. Ratchets out to the side. It's like, why can't we do ratchets both ways? I mean, seriously. Thigh swivel. Ratcheted knee. And then the feet are awful. So they're on like a hinge up here and then a ball peg, but they don't really work the way you need them to work. They're more just Oh, and they're kind of loose, so they're more for show than they are for. And you see, he just started coming apart. Let's try and get him back together. There we go. Yeah. So, and here he is with Prime. So, according to whatever scale chart you want to look at, it's awful scale or it's perfect scale, or it's just about right. It's. I'm not pulling up the scale chart to check because I mean it's all a little bit different, but I believe it's about right. And I think they look good. I think he looks good. The hands suck. The feet are not great. The backpack is fine. I think the backpack's fine. He's light, but that's the kind of way they designed the figure. Was so that it's lighter for the Superion mode. And all in all, I mean it's a decent figure. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Looks good. He's gonna fit my shelf just fine. I think. Hopefully the gun, I can get the gun in there and it will stay. Well, it won't matter now because I'm gonna do combine mode at some point. But yeah. I think we got a winner here. Obviously he's not super clean. Like he's got these little panels here and the wings, but the wings do come off. So if you want a cleaner look, you can go like that, and that looks fine too. It's not really true to the character, but it's one of those you can if you wanted to. Yeah, I mean, I think all things considered, he's a pretty decent offering. Just those hands really suck. So yeah, I guess that's all I got for him. I will tentatively recommend him. We're going to get the whole set done, and then we'll see if I recommend the set as a whole or not.